What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on.
And on today's video guys, I will show you several news that might be very important in order to see the progress that we've already achieved. Then I will show you a very important update in regards to the transferring your shares to AST account if you hold these shares on your IRA account with your broker. On top of that, I will show you potential evidence that we have another company, another broker-dealer that potentially also has a share imbalance on their balance sheet, and I will show you all the gibberish that a lot of broker-dealers have behind the scenes. On top of that, guys, I will show you a very interesting update that potentially might be very helpful in order to evaluate the share price of NBH hydrocarbons, and this news might be very important in general. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm. It takes me more than 4 hours on a daily basis in order to prepare this type of videos for you, and it takes you a split of a second of your time in order to hit this button. So that is why please hit the like button. So guys, I want to begin today's video with this chart. As you can see, we are on Google Trends, and this particular website tracks the trends that are on the table right now, and it tracks its relevant strength. So, and right here, as you can see, I entered a search term MMTLP, and for now, at the very beginning of February, we have the highest value for this search term that we didn't have basically for more than 6 months. And as you can see, we are gaining a momentum, and this means we are on the right path. And that is why, guys, we have a lot of counterforce that is appearing right now. And you know that just recently Forbes published its article, Attack of the Naked Short Sellers. And as you can see, I showed you this multiple times. If you try to search the part of this title, Attack of Naked, and if you type like this from Forbes, it will show you all the mentions of this article from one Twitter account. And here you can see that Forbes mentioned this article multiple times, and if you click on the latest tab folder, you will see that they completed to publish these tweets almost a month ago. But at the same time, we have another people who are trying to push our case down, and one of them is Charles Gasparina. And I showed you his recent article that he published on New York Post just yesterday, and I made a detailed breakdown, and I showed you that this article is nothing else but a hit piece article that is made in order to push our case down. And there is a lot of discrepancy, there is a lot of misinformation inside this article. And guys, not only me, but also Drew Diligence made his recap of this article, and he published this in response to the New York Post Twitter post. And here you can see that his tweet is quite lengthy and detailed, and I don't want to dive deep inside it in details, but let me quote you just first couple of paragraphs. Ralph Norman's call for transparency deserves applause, not ridicule. In this article, Charles Gasparina takes aim at Congressman Ralph Norman for his inquiry into the MMTLP situation, dismissing it as another conspiracy theory from a wingnut who is also financially illiterate. However, Gasparina's attempt to discredit Norman overlooks and blatantly omits crucial facts and mischaracterizes the congressman's efforts. And he added several detailed facts about the information that was represented by Charles Gasparina in his article, and I have to admit that it is pretty much the same that I made on my yesterday's video. On top of that, guys, let me show you some responses from Richard Hoffman in regards to this article as well, and in regards to the due diligence opinion. So, 8 hours ago, Richard wrote, as Curtis mentioned last night, Drew's analysis of the recent FINRA responses was both helpful and insightful. and he has provided analytical analysis since the beginning, which has been invaluable. And due diligence made not only the response to the article, but also he made a detailed breakdown on the FINRA's actions and FINRA's responses to the bipartisan open letter that was written back in December December of 2023, and it was prepared by the Ralph Norman's office. And guys, let me show you some interesting fact. Copy and Paste made this tweet 11 hours ago, and he said, in the history of financial markets, the MMTLP open letter has the most signatures by far. And let me remind you that this letter was signed by 74 Congress members, and on top of that we have some data that potentially up to 90 Congress members signed this letter. So, and it is definitely worth your attention as well. Let me show you another quite interesting tweet that was written by Richard. He wrote 14 hours ago. At this point in time, those who are anti-MMTLP and its community are either paid pathetic shills or also believers that the earth is flat and our moon is made out of a green cheese. So yes, for us, for MMTLP community, it is crystal clear that there is a share imbalance in regards to MMTLP stock. There is a lot of illegal activity from authorities' side, like U3 halt without any explanation. And that is why all of the facts that was mentioned in this article are basically useless, because it is a misleading fact that doesn't do anything in order to help the MMTLP community. So guys, let's move forward. Let me show you this article that was published on MMTLP Resources just yesterday, and it's titled "Transferring to AST with an IRA." And you know that a lot of people who want to transfer their shares to AST, but who held the shares on IRA accounts, they don't have this option basically. And I tried to find out how they can do it. And here is the direct answers. And let me quote to this. Many shareholders have been stuck not knowing what to do with their shares if they are in an IRA. Here's some helpful information. With the NBH hydrocarbons urging shareholders to move to AST, some shareholders have been facing tax issues when trying to move IRA invested shares. Remember, if you transfer shares to AST, you want them in book entry form in your name. That's the key. A recent thread on Twitter from Rob R gives information on how you can transfer from your broker's account to an Advanta IRA. There are fees involved, and as always, none of this is financial advice, but a path for those investors seems to be available. And here is the tweet that was published by Rob T, and let me show you this in details. Any MMTLP shareholders that have shares in a 401k or Roth retirement account can transfer their shares over to Advanta IRA and keep it the tax shelter. They told me that it did satisfy the requirements of the S1 offering, and at the very least it would help with the share count. So he added several screenshots, and I highly encourage you to thoroughly discover these screenshots in order to understand in details what are the conditions of this potential transfer. But on top of that, let me remind you that just yesterday, Junk Savvy wrote the exact letter what you should write in order to request this transfer. So the text is following. Good morning. I am requesting X number of my X shares of this QCIP number NextBridge Hydrocarbons, formerly MMTLP, be transferred to NextBridge Hydrocarbons transfer agent AST/EQ for registration in my name in book entry. And here's the crucial part, in book entry. Please update me of the status and completion. Thank you. And here is the blueprint how you can write this letter to your broker dealer in order to request this transferring. And guys, it is quite interesting, but we have some details that potentially shows an imbalance of another broker dealer, and let me show you this tweet. So Pure Spirit wrote this tweet yesterday, and he said, I received correspondence from RBC Direct Investment Canada offering the opportunity to transfer my NBH shares from AST back to RBC at no cost. This move suggests that RBC might be facing challenges or issues with availability of NBH shares. And here's the letter itself. It was published, it was sent on January 31st. And here's quite interesting paragraphs. If you do not wish to hold your shares at AST, please contact RBC Direct Investing at this phone number for assistance with facilitating the transfer of your shares of NextBridge from AST before May 31st, 2024 at no cost to you. While RBC Direct Investing will make every effort to facilitate this action in a timely manner, we are reliant on the timeframes and conditions dictated by AST and/or NBH. Please note that RBC Direct Investing is not able to provide advice as to whether you should or should not hold your shares at AST and/or participate in NextBridge's proposed distribution. So, it is quite interesting letter, and let me show you some details in regards to this transfer. Pure Spirit also wrote this. I need to clarify my story. In August, I initiated the transfer of all my shares, of all my NBH shares from RBC to AST, which took 3 months to complete. RBC initially informed me that transferring back from AST to RBC wasn't feasible due to NBH's private status unless NBH do relist on OTC market. However, I've now received an unexpected offer from RBC allowing me to transfer back to them at no cost. This sudden reversal suggests to me that RBC may be facing a shortage of NBH shares with AST. And yes, on the one hand, it may suggest that there is some kind of imbalance or shortage of NBH shares with AST, but at the same time, let me show you that in these responses we have something like this. I think they sent that letter to everyone because they recently transferred everyone's shares over to AST without anyone asking and without permission. And if it is the reality, definitely this transferring doesn't relate to the share imbalance, but this shows that the transferring shares back to your broker-dealer from AST is also a possible procedure. And previously, we knew that this transferring is pretty much one-way ticket, but this letter proves completely opposite. And this means if you still believe that NextBridge hydrocarbon shares will have 2 additional days of trading, and at the same time you want to transfer your shares to AST, this means it is more likely that the process is reversible and you can transfer them back. And definitely it's up to you whether or not you want to transfer your shares to AST, but it shows on top of all the information that I just gave to you, it shows that there is a huge mess behind the scenes on each and every broker-dealer in regards to MMTLP shares. And let me show you another evidence of this statement. You know that E-Trade just recently, and I covered it in one of my videos, it was several screenshots that show us huge price of MMTLP shares, and potentially these orders were executed. And for example, this price was set to $10,000 per share, and it was in the status was too late to cancel. This means if the order has this type of status, this means it should be executed. At the same time, we have a mind-boggling number, mind-boggling price of NBH shares. Here's another screenshot of the same page from other person who tried to sell his or her shares back in the end of 2022. And here you can see the price of the shares at the level of $200,000. And it is a mind-boggling price. And as you can see, the order status is also too late to cancel. So it is a huge problems in regards to the MMTLP issue, and potentially because of this, FINRA implemented a U3 halt, because they knew that with these mind-boggling prices, a lot of brokers might file a bankruptcy, even a bankruptcy, because in the case of execution of these orders, they would have to pay all these prices to shareholders in order to close these deals. And definitely, with the youth halt, all of these deals were cancelled. And that is why, guys, we are fighting. We are fighting in order to have the fair market. On top of that, guys, let me show you quite interesting results of the recent NAPE exhibition. You know that NBH hydrocarbons participated in the NAPE exhibition, and here is some interesting detail. Junk Savvy wrote this: another permanent basin oil and gas deal. Diamond Black could announce a deal with the closely held Delaware Energy Resources as soon as Monday. Is there a deal in the works for NBH hydrocarbons post the NAPE summit? Where deals are made? PR Watch. And she added this link to the article, and this article basically shows the same information. In Wall Street Journal, you can find this title: Permanent Rivals Near Deal to Create $50 Billion Oil and Gas Behemoth. And guys, you know that Orogrande Basin is a part of Permanent Basin. This means all the assets that NBH hydrocarbons already discovered might worth a really mind-boggling amount of money, and all the shareholders should benefit from this potential deal. But first of all, we have to solve the problem of the share count, and we have to know the real number of shares. And to do it, we are fighting. We are fighting against all wrongdoers who try to push our case down. And that is why, guys, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell, hit the like button, and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. See you guys and girls next time. Bye.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life, I'm crazy, I'm